Good evening. Today I'm interviewing Sebastian Williams of 16 Years of Education, and we're going to talk about a couple things dealing with the vision of a campus. My first question, Sebastian, is where is your school in clarifying its mission, vision, and core values for instructional programs?
Well, our school in particular, we're we're partially in the process of it, simply because there's been a change in leadership, and a lot of times, when someone else comes in different, and the way they interact with people is different, and it's just learning everybody again, and so his vision, I think is pretty much the same as what our initial vision was, but the clarity on it is not as good as I would like, but we're in the process.
Okay, thank you. So, do you think it is the responsibility of the new administration to revisit the mission? Should they change it? Should they continue to use the one they already had? Or
Well, I think as a new administrator coming in, you're going to already have your own self-core values, and hopefully they fit together. But it seems that they would, revisit the mission, especially with a new leader coming in with different leadership qualities. And ultimately, we should all have the same goal of educating our children, but everybody don't believe in the same methods. The old administration believed more in corporal punishment, whereas the new administration tries to stray away from corporal punishment, even though it's still allowed in the district.
okay, where is your school with respect to its vision and values for instructional program, using evidence to identify differences and assess as likely reasons for those differences? In other words, where's your school at in the instructional program's point of the vision?
Well, of course, we do quite a bit of professional development where they try to come in and target what they feel are the needs of some of the newer teachers in the district, as well as implementing the new technology into some of the more seasoned teachers who may not be as familiar with the new technology that comes in. We use a lot of data from different classrooms, as well as principals doing walkthroughs and having different departmental meetings to discuss different issues or problems. And we actually use the data from all the testing materials, the common assessments, the benchmarks, and things because ultimately everybody's trying to prepare to pass the STAR test.
Where is the school in setting goals and objectives for instructions to address the differences of the demographics?
Okay. Well, the school, our demographics is we have a large population of special needs students, lower income, and and so we have some issues that that you may not have in some districts. When you're in a lower income area and dealing with a lot of lower income foster families and things of that nature, it sometimes poses a little bit different issues as far as what the child goes through. So we have the free breakfast. We actually educate the parents, and we have different activities where we bring the parents in to try to to get the parent more acclimated to dealing with teachers and not feeling standoffish and confrontational when they want to come in. It's because ultimately we're all trying to raise that child. So did I answer the question?
Yeah, you kind of did, but you answered from the perspective of the parent. I was wondering what the campus was doing to find strategies to motivate an African American young man who has the behavior issues. How can we get him into the culture or the vision of learning?
Well, yeah, I mean, ultimately, we as teachers, we try as much as we can to shape the life of the student, because we want everybody to be as productive as possible. But ultimately, sometimes our children have a lot more to deal with than what we can actually see in the school setting. And so, ultimately we just try, my motto with my students is I always tell them, when they leave the walls of my classroom, neither them or I can control the rain that falls. My job is to make sure they leave there with an umbrella. So basically, I do everything I can to prepare them for the life ahead of them, and I just pour into everything that I can pour into them, and as well as following the curriculum and IEP needs. So basically, with my setting, I don't actually have to teach as much anymore, because most of my students are being mainstreamed out, and when their work is brought, if they can't behave out in that setting, or we have a point system in order for them to be able to transition from class to class. So if they have problems with that, or if they're having a problem with the class, they come back to me, and then I will help them with whatever assignment, or teach or reteach, or whatever they need to know. So and to keep going on that, we also have set up after-school programs where after-school tutoring is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They've been actually trying to set up a Saturday school. They got the funding for it. So we're doing everything to try to build those deficits up, because we actually had a couple of low areas. We were low in a couple of areas on the last testing set up. So we're really trying to get all those things up.
Okay, thank you. What strategy does the school have to achieve those instructional goals and objectives, and develop plans for implementing them, including developing the necessary human and material resources? So I'm believing that what I'm asking is, what is the campus doing to educate the staff, or through professional development that also contributes to the vision of the campus?
Well, I mean, of course, we have questionnaires that comes out with the surveys to kind of find where some of the teachers may need help. Because it's one thing just to have a lot of professional developments, but when you actually specifically target these professional developments to help where we're weak at, is more what we're trying to do. As far as implementing the new technologies, and then keeping abreast of all the changes that are going on, and actually being able to share the knowledge that when we go, and one person may go out to a seminar or to a training session, and they'll come back and if they learn new stuff, we share that new stuff that we learn. To try to each one teach one, to hopefully keep us all moving forward.
Okay. So where's your school in the process of implementing strategy for instructional improvement? No. So what are your administrators doing on campus to when you recognize that a teacher needs more work? Do they just let her be and let her drown, or do they try to get in and try to hook up with a more seasoned teacher? What are they doing to ensure that the first year teacher is not becoming discouraged by themselves?
Well, we actually, when first year teachers come in, they're assigned a mentor. I actually mentored 2 teachers last year myself. Well, and we actually have monthly meetings that they go to, mentor meetings like that. But, you know, daily, or at least once a week, you know, I would try to meet with that mentee to, you know, try to talk, you know, if you have any issues or anything going on. And, you know, but it's pretty much an open door policy, you know, they can contact me anytime they needed me in school setting. But we would actually work from that point of view, and then, you know, the principals are doing walkthroughs and as well as formal observations. So when, you know, with the walkthroughs, they get to, you know, see strengths and weaknesses, and they provide those teachers with that necessary feedback about, you know, those different observations.
Okay. Oh, well, Sebastian, I want to thank you for doing the interview to help me out and gain my experience I need. And I'm going to, but I do want to ask one question before you go. Okay, now, a lot of times we have great ideas, but we're never able to utilize them because either one, they're too hard for us to make it, to implement it, or we don't have the avenue to provide that leader, that particular strategy, or they may be intimidated by it. So do you have anything that you can suggest that would help a campus who is trying to build a solid foundation using their vision as to establish the culture on the campus?
Well, first, that vision has to be communicated. And, you know, in order, you know, the bigger the buy-in, you know, the bigger the outcome. So, you know, as a leader, you're trying to get your staff and all your constituents, you know, your students, the community, and everybody to buy into the vision that you have. The biggest way to get that buy-in, I believe, is for one, communicating it, and then allowing others to come in and help shape it. What else you want to know?
Oh, that's what I wanted to know. I always want to know if you had the mantle and you need to come in as campus or change your campus. I was just kind of trying to get an idea. What would you do to address that need?
Well, if I was coming in to have to make a change to campus like that, I would first find out what they've been doing. Because a lot of times when you come in as a new person, you got your own thing. When a lot of times you bring that in and you create a riff in there that nothing will work. When a lot of times you could just come in and find that maybe what they had in process, the reasons that it wasn't working, the problems that they may have had, and you may be able just to tweak this, tweak that, and make a couple of small changes, opposed to trying to reinvent the wheel. And it's just like, if you were going to walk from here, from Texas to Tennessee, one step at a time is what it's going to take to get there. You're not going to be able to just jump, you know, halfway across the country. It's going to be one single step at a time. You got to be willing to put those steps in and consistently walk that walk.
Man, thanks a lot. I appreciate you. I'm going to go to the interviews. I appreciate you to give me your time today.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Let me try to steal my words in your paper. He going to take those. That hurt. Shh.
Good day. Today I'm here with Roderick Dixon. He's going to share with me his insight as far as dealing with the vision of culture over campus. And Roderick, I want to first thank you for coming out and helping me out. And I guess the first question is are the faculty members on your campus aware of the campus vision?
Yes, on my campus, the faculty members are aware of the vision. From day one, the vision has been put out there. We have 2 visions. One vision is the 4th ISD vision, which is Ignite in every child and Passion for Learning. So we just kind of extended on that for our campus.
Okay. Do they encourage the students to be aware of the campus vision?
On our campus, not so much. And they put on the teachers to make sure that they know what the vision is, and it's not something that's been fed to the students
Yeah.
as of right now. But we're working on, like, we have new administration, so we're kind of taking it step by step. Getting the teachers on board right now, and then we'll extend it out to the kids.
Now, do you feel that in order for a campus vision to be effective, it's just one part, or do you feel it's all the stakeholders, or, I mean, could there be a flaw not being able to present that to the students?
As me personally, I think everybody needs to be a part of the vision. It's an accountability measure, because if I can't hold you accountable to the vision, then that's the problem. So what needs to be what happen first should be accountability on every part, from the janitorial staff to cafeteria ladies to the front office, attendants, everybody.
So I'm assuming that with the fourth ISDs to ignite, it's kind of hard to ignite something when there's not a fuse put in. You know what I mean? So what is the difference between the kids not knowing how they're conducting themselves? How are they carrying themselves without that vision?
Right. Well, the students are students, so they're gonna press the issue on everything.
Right.
But what you have to do is you have to make sure that your teachers are both accountable and consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be accountable for what they know and consistent on filling out the plan.
Right.
So so that part, once the teachers and the staff is accountable and consistent, then the students themselves will be both accountable and consistent.
Okay. Do you feel the campus is moving toward achieving that campus? I think I heard that you did say that it is progressing.
Right. Well, like I said, we have new staff, and we're implementing new parts like this. Our vision this semester is getting everybody to read. So what we've done now is we did what's called a Stampede Hour,
Okay.
which is we try to get every kid to read at least 1 hour a week.
Okay.
So we do that by implementing Stampede Hour, so we get 30 minutes on Tuesday, 30 minutes on Thursday to read the first thing as soon as they get to school.
Right.
So every student must have a book, and every student must be reading for those first 30 minutes of class.
So with you seeing that, how is that working out?
I can tell you from my point of view of my class,
Yeah.
we read.
We read. Okay.
So we read. So we make sure. So I make sure I hold my kids accountable,
Alright.
and I'm also consistent about making them read
Okay.
and then reading.
Okay. So what is the goal of the campus vision? What do you believe the goal of that campus vision?
Right now, it's to get everybody to read, to enjoy reading, not to
Okay.
read just because you're supposed to do it, but to
Okay.
enjoy reading.
Okay.
So that's why we have that. We've purchased AR tests to make sure they're accountable for that reading also.
Okay. How does the campus recognize and acknowledge those who implement strategies in support of the vision?
So what we've done is we would our lowest grades were not lowest grades, but our lower grades were in reading. So that's what was our focus to get. If we get the reading up, then everything else will rise with it.
Okay.
So that's what and I think that was maybe the easiest one to kind of implement
Right.
in like one semester,
Because every student needs reading.
because every student needs reading.
Right.
You have to read in math, you have to read in science, you have to read in social studies, you have to read in English, you have to read in PE. Everybody have to read.
Right.
So that was the first thing that we focused on, was the reading aspect, and we put our funds toward that.
Okay. So how are these contributions effectively communicated to staff, students, parents, and community?
The reading is important.
That is reasonable.
So we put money behind the AR test. We buy new books. We revamped the library. Every kid must have a book.
Mhm.
Every kid must read. Every teacher must read.
Right.
Everybody in the building should be reading those first 30 minutes of those Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So even teachers get a book and start reading too.
Everybody, cafeteria staff, janitorial staff, everybody.
Everybody has to read.
Everybody has to read for those first
That
30
is
minutes.
off the chain. I never. That is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because even that janitorial could benefit from reading.
Yeah.
He can take exams. He can
Yeah.
go for higher positions and jobs. The cafeteria lady can transition from the cafeteria to another
Yeah.
aspects of education. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the kids don't see that they're doing I'm just doing it, you know,
Right.
they feel good because everybody's doing it.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote a campus vision?
Well, like I said, we use the information from, previous, that's one of our weaker areas. So we want to attack that area. So we had, meeting, and we had meetings to kind of, what do we want the kids to do first?
Right.
And then as a council, we were like, we need them to read, because nobody likes to read.
Right.
So that's one of the things that, and we use innovative ways. To be innovative, it's kind of hard to be innovative with reading.
Right.
I mean, everything's kind of been,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to sit down, you have to read the
Words put
So,
together.
yeah, but they've allowed, like, if they have, any electronics, if they have a book on it, then it's acceptable to read.
Okay.
So it just
So they're
it can't
able to
be-
use their phones
They
and
can use their
about
phones.
data and
It
everything.
just can't have the earbuds. It can't read to them.
Okay.
You have to literally read this
okay.
proceeding for yourself.
Alright, so, okay, couple more questions, okay. What process are used to improve morale, which moves staff to a realization of a campus vision?
One of the recent things that we've done is we have these little certificates. It's kind of like we caught you doing something well, or I saw you doing this well.
Right.
So we had a whole stack of them, in which you can see I want to say a team member. I'm gonna say it that way. A team member doing something well, you just put it in a box. I saw you doing this. It was a great job. This was a great assignment. Whatever you saw was good. I enjoyed your assignment, or your class is always quiet. Whatever it is, you just put that in a box, and then they'll get it, and so that kind of builds the morale from. It's not just from the principal, but from your coworkers.
Okay, is there any incentives to improve the morale for teachers?
I think we're doing that amongst ourselves,
Okay.
because we're giving each other those compliments.
Okay, okay.
So we're not leaving up to the principal or the AP staff or to give those compliments.
Okay.
We're doing it because we're gonna see most of the time anyway.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna hit you with the last question like I hit Sebastian, and that was, if you was in a position to make a decision, or even if you see from where you are now, is there anything that you could do to improve the vision or the campus vision, the culture of the campus?
Well, I base everything off two words: accountability and consistency. If I hold everybody accountable for what I need, and then everybody be consistent.
Okay.
So with those two things, whatever I need to get accomplished, it would get accomplished.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you coming, sacrifice your time so I can learn. We're gonna mark to the next interview, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, welcome today. My last interview is going to be Chris Molinar. Chris been teaching
2 years now.
now, and what we're going to talk about, get some his opinion about vision or cultural or campus vision. Okay, and I'm going to start with the first question: is are the faculty members aware of their campus vision?
I believe on our campus that our faculty members are aware of what our vision is. We're trying to get kids ready for college. We're trying to ignite a passion for learning, and I feel our staff is really into that.
Okay. So, this year, was this your first year?
This is my second year.
Second year. So you are this your sophomore year,
Yeah.
and was anything different from last year to this year when it came to making you aware? I mean, do you see it when you first started? Were you kind of like lost and all by yourself, or is there some difference now?
I feel last year I was a little lost. I was kind of on my own last year. I had a mentor teacher, but I never got to see her. We didn't have planning together, so I was kind of on my own. The good thing is, my coworkers are great, and they were there to help me out whenever I needed it.
Okay.
And they came in, gave me good ideas. And this year I feel a lot better. I don't feel like I'm running around lost all the time.
Like out, chaotic.
Yeah.
I know how you feel. I know you feel too. So, okay. Do the campus, do do they encourage the students to be aware of the campus vision?
I don't feel that we do. On the campus itself, we have the posters that shows what our motto is, but we don't really make the kids this is what you're here for,
Okay.
this is why you're here. We have it there, and if
Right.
they read it, they read it. If they don't,
Yeah, so it's like you had a lot of numbers on the wall, but if you don't know what the purpose of those numbers is for, you'll never use them.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's just writing on the wall
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. So you feel that, do you think the kids will receive that information, or would they retaliate against it, or?
You know, what I noticed towards the end of the last year is they gave these kids a packet to fill out, survey questions. And one of the questions is actually about what our mission was as a district. And none of the kids knew. They just had no idea what they were trying to get out of school.
Right. So that's not helpful.
It's not, yeah.
So you think that hinders the campus culture?
I think so. I think we're so focused on trying to make sure that the teachers understand what the mission is that we're forgetting a little bit about the students themselves.
Right. Trying to get to the bottom line instead of just going
Yeah.
through. Okay. Do they feel? Do you feel that your campus is moving towards achieving this campus vision?
In some ways, yes. My campus is a program of choice campus.
Okay.
So we get to kind of pick and choose a certain population of students that get to come to our campus.
Okay.
Of course, if the campus is your feeder school, you're going to go there, but we're
Okay.
putting students from all over Fort Worth to come to this campus.
All right.
And I feel that those students that are there for the program itself, they're the ones that are really getting pushed. They're the ones getting ignited to go to
Right,
college
right.
because they want to be at this school. They chose to be here. They want to take the courses that are going to get them the furthest in life.
Right. So the kids that are in that community, then what accountability are we holding them to? A little bit different?
I think so. I mean, it seems like the kids, we're kind of forgetting about the ones that are there, the ones that live in that community. And it's not everybody, but I feel that there is a gap between the kids that we're bringing in and the kids that are from there.
Yeah, okay. On how the treatment.
Yeah, the
Okay.
treatment and, you know, just education overall.
Right. Okay, so let's do this. What is the goal of the campus vision?
Our goal is to get the students prepared for the real world.
Real
You know,
world?
Get them to college, get them to have a good life.
Yeah, either work or school.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, but as long as you have that choice.
Yeah.
All right. But the third component is working for the state is not a good option. So that's not a good option. Okay. So can you repeat what was the goal? What did you say the goal of the campus vision?
Campus vision is, you know, get every student to go to college, get them into a productive member of society.
Okay. So how does the campus recognize and acknowledge those who implement strategies to support the vision? Or do they? Or have anyone stood out to do that?
Recognition amongst teachers, you know, it kind of goes through email. There's not like anything real formal.
Right.
It goes, you know, straight to the email on blast. Everyone knows,
Right.
you know, who did a good job,
Right.
what they were doing.
Right.
So it doesn't always come from administration, you know, it comes from other teachers as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, I do notice that. I see that a lot. But it's been said, but it's something a lot better when you can say great job in their face.
Exactly, yeah.
Instead of through a link or an email.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're saying they are being acknowledged. Okay. Okay. What about how are these contributions effectively communicated to staff, student, parents, and community?
You repeat one more time, sorry.
Okay, how are these contributions effective community? So whatever this person is offered to help with the vision, I mean, do they do anything special, I guess? The question is how are these contributions effectively communicated?
like I said, I mean,
Yeah,
all the
email.
communication is through the
Through
email,
email,
you know.
Cause I know we don't have a lot of meetings, so.
No, we
and,
really don't.
and so, okay,
But, I mean, I guess based on that, in department meetings, there's a whole lot of,
Right.
in your department, people saying what they liked, what they didn't like.
Right.
You know, giving compliments to the department teachers.
right,
But as a whole staff, I don't feel
right.
that everyone is doing.
So do you feel we're communicating that vision to the parents in the community?
I would have to say no.
Yeah, because you don't see it. So,
Yeah.
because if you don't see it, I don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, so let's just move to another question. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
We look at a lot of data, especially on my team as a unit. You know, we're looking at data from 5th grade, looking to see, you know, what's going to be best for the student,
Okay.
where their best placement would be, what path is best for them to take, and depending on where that student lands depends on where his future is really going to go.
Okay, depends. So it's based upon how the child responds
Yes.
when it comes to that. Okay. So you can kind of hold them accountable, which is a part of the vision, but how they respond to that accountability determines if they're embracing the vision.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What processes are used to improve morale which moves staff to a realization of campus vision?
I think that all happens within our POCs and our actual content meetings.
Right.
As a whole, I don't think there's a whole lot of movement, but for example, in my department, we got to go to CAST and we got to see all this science training, and we all came back and we put all these ideas in, and we grabbed ideas that we liked, we talked about everything that was going on, and how we're going to implement it in the classroom itself.
Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna end it with the question I asked the other gentleman, is that if you were put in a position of authority in your current situation, is there anything that you would do different with that when it comes to making your vision clear?
I think I would have the students know what the actual vision is, what they're working for.
Yeah.
And make it more open to the students. Staff knows what they have to do.
Right.
It's the students that need to know.
They need to know. They need to embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, man, I want to thank you for allowing me to interview you for my own experience, and it's going to be interesting doing my reflection off what you guys have told me. But I really want to thank you guys publicly for helping me with my experience. This is the conclusion of our interviews.